Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Content Creation with Adobe Premiere Rush workshop. We are happy to have all of you here. Thank you for signing up. And as you may know, this workshop is part of TUF, which is the Taylor's University Film Festival 2022. Before we begin, I need to kindly remind everybody of the house rules during this workshop. 1. Please turn off all your microphones as well as your camera. If you have any questions for our guest speaker, please save it until the end of the workshop. There will also be a Slido link in the chat box so you can post your questions through that link. And 4, please keep your chats to a minimum. We do not want them to distract the workshop. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Amandeep Singh, Senior Customer Success Manager at Adobe Inc. Mr. Amandeep Singh, welcome virtually to Taylor's University. We are so happy and honored to have you as our guest speaker for today's workshop. Thank you so much.
Same here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present here to Taylor's University and our esteemed guests, faculty members, and students. Thank you so much for your time for attending this session. So without any further ado, let's just get started. Okay. To begin with, let me just set up some stage for you. Let me set up some background to what exactly we're going to do today and what is it that you can expect that you will take away from this session. Okay. So to begin with, let me ask this question from you. Who here doesn't like to post videos online or on social media, maybe YouTube, Facebook, Instagram? I guess most of us do that once in a while, right? So that's something relevant to everyone, right? What about another question? If you've been given an option that you would have to go through a 1 hour presentation with all the text on PPT and all that stuff, we want to choose that, or the second option, which is you will go through a really engaging presentation where people are talking on the monitor, they're engaging, there's music happening, a lot of drama, a lot of titles, content flying here and there. So would you like to go through and sit for an hour for the second version of the presentation, or would you like to stick to the normal, boring text version of the presentation? And my guess is most of you would say second, right? So this is what really this session is going to be all about. We're going to sort of focus on making you the content creator, helping you understand how you can quickly and easily make professional looking videos. And it doesn't matter what you use that video for. You want to put that video on social media. Yeah. You want to create some stunning video presentations. Yes, of course. Or maybe you want to be some professional editor. You want to start as a professional video editor. So that's the software for you. That's the solution for you, right? Now, the good part about the solution is that you don't really need any prior experience of video editing. I don't expect you to have any classes of video editing done before. Even if you're naive to video editing, even if you're doing it for the first time, this session is for you as well as for people who are experienced in video editing. Okay. So what is Premiere Rush? So this software, the solution that we're going to focus on, is called as Adobe Premiere Rush. And as you can say, the name itself says rush. It means that we're going to create things quickly, okay? Although I'm going to go a bit slow because I'm teaching you for the first time, but when you are comfortable with it, it's going to be really a Premiere Rush for you, okay? So Premiere Rush is Adobe's all-in-one video editing application or solution. It lets you create, edit, and also share videos directly on social media platform right from Premiere Rush itself. Okay. So now the good part about Premiere Rush is that this is the only solution of Adobe which gives you all the capabilities exactly the same as what you see in desktop versus mobile versus an iPad or a tablet. So basically, it doesn't matter if you have a desktop machine, a laptop, an iPhone, an Android phone, a tablet, you will just get access to all the capabilities in your machine. Okay. So without any further ado, let's just start share. Let me start sharing my screen. I'm gonna turn off the camera for now to make sure that I'm giving all the bandwidth to the screen share, and there's no issue there. But yeah, in case you face any issues, if there's some problem with connection, try to refresh your browser. Try to load it up again. Sometime that helps. If it's from my side, just let me know, and then I'll try and fix it from my side. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to turn off the camera for now and start sharing my screen, which is here. And as you know, that Adobe Premiere Rush is a part of Creative Cloud package, but you can also have it as an individual application. And I think you already have it in your subscription with Taylor, so there's nothing to worry about. You can access it from the Creative Cloud desktop application. If it's not been installed, you can simply click on install and have it on your machine. Okay. So I'm just gonna, I've already opened it up, so I don't want to do that again. When you open Premiere Rush, the first thing that you will notice that how minimalistic the view is. We don't really, there are no tons of scary panels and menu items and all that stuff because we want to keep it as simple as possible, yet powerful at the same time. Okay. So I'm going to start with creating a new project. Of course, if you have any projects created already, you will see that on the screen so that you can open it up again. But I'm going to click on this button which says create new project so that I can show you how you can go about creating your first video from scratch. Okay. Now, when you have this screen where it asks you where is your media, there are a couple of options for you to choose from on the left-hand side here. For example, you can have your media stored on the local drive, C drive, desktop, documents, and whatnot. And you can have that imported into Premiere Rush by clicking on the right folder and bringing it in. Or if you use online cloud storage like Creative Cloud or OneDrive, you can also get access to your online files, your cloud storage files directly in Premiere Rush by clicking on these options and getting access to those files as well. Okay. The one that I'm going to choose here is the sample media, which ships with Premiere Rush itself. I'm going to utilize the sample media for the purpose of this training or session. All right. The next thing that I notice here is that it asks me to give the name of the project. So the project name right now, by default, it says untitled. So what I want to do here is, of course, I want to click and change the name of the project to something that I can understand. Okay, this project is for this because there will be project heading names there. Okay, so I'm going to say maybe a day on the beach. Maybe I'm creating a sort of like a engaging video presentation about how was my day on the beach, or maybe it's an informative presentation. Could be anything for that matter, right? The next thing that I see here is this gear icon. This is really important. In this gear icon, there are a couple of options for you to choose from. So the first thing that you get to decide is what is the orientation of your video. So basically, what is it that you're creating it for? Are you creating it for like a portrait view, kind of like a mobile phone, or are you doing it for a desktop machine? You're doing it for Instagram, you're doing it for like a square video kind of a thing. So basically you get to decide what's going to be the aspect ratio of the final video, right? There are a couple of other options here as well. Let me just increase the, okay. So there are a couple of other options here as well. For example, whether you want to match the frame with the mismatch clip. I'm not going to go into the details for now, but as you can see in the preview, basically what it does as a layman, it keeps the most important part of the shot in the frame. So just imagine that you shot the video in portrait in the landscape mode, and now for some reason you're gonna put it on Instagram and you need a portrait version of it, but your subject is moving from left to right. and you're not expert, you don't want to do the manual keyframing, you ask Premiere Rush to recognize the subject and track it for you so that it always stays in the focus. So if that is something that you want to do in your video, just enable this option and that will help you get things done. Okay. In the similar fashion, if you're having a lot of images, okay, you got a lot of images in your video, and maybe you're creating like a slideshow kind of a thing, right? Maybe it's like a birthday invite, or you're doing something else for that matter, maybe a marriage invite. There's a lot of pictures going on here, and you want to make them alive. You don't want to bring those still images inside the video. So maybe what you want to do is you want it to have some motion, some animation, where the images scale up, change position over time, and things like that. If that's what that is what you, if that's the purpose of your video, you enable the option for pan and zoom. Okay. For us, it doesn't matter because we're not going to do any of this. So it doesn't really matter if I enable or disable it for now. But I'm just going to say okay. The next option that we need to choose is the sequence of the video, right? Because what I'm basically trying to do is I'm combining multiple videos or short clips together to be able to make a story out of it, or to be able to make a presentation out of it, right? So chances are that you will have a series of videos and audio clips for you to stitch together, right? So let's say these are, you can see on the screen, there's this video number one, video number two, and I can scrub through to see what this video is all about, to basically see the content like a preview itself, or I can click on this big um, zoom in button, and I can also try to play this video clip even before I add it into my project, right? So I can do that too. Now, one thing that you've noticed when I click on these clips, there are some numbers written on these videos or the audio. So what are these numbers? The numbers are basically the sequence in which you want this video and audio file to be added in your project. As I said, it's all about rush, right? It's all about making things faster. So Premiere Rush basically just asks you, just select the video in the sequence that you want it to be in your final video so that it's easier for you to get started. Okay. So maybe what I'm going to do here, this is my video one, video, sorry, this is my video one. This is going to be my video number two, three, and at the bottom, I'm going to have this music um, on the entire video itself. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you cannot rearrange it later. You can definitely do that, but this just helps you kickstart your editing faster. Okay. What else what else you should be aware of? That there is this button at the bottom of the screen which says sync with Creative Cloud. Now, this is a very important button, and I'll tell you why. Because when you leave this option enabled, it what it really does, it pushes all of your project into Adobe Cloud, which means that not only you have access to this project for further editing on this desktop machine, but you will also have access to the same project on your mobile phone, tablets, basically wherever you're signed in with the same credential into Premiere Rush, you will be able to see your project there. So you can imagine maybe you started taking videos on your phone, going back home on that train, and then you just wanted to start your editing right then and there on your iPhone. You can do that, and maybe you're finished halfway, and now you're home, and now you want to start editing on your laptop, and you can definitely do that because everything is syncing to each other through Creative Cloud. So this is an important button or checkbox. Okay. In case you want to copy this media to some other secondary location, you can also do that. Maybe you have some external hard drive or things like that, so you can also do that too. Okay. So yeah, once all of this is done, definitely the next thing that I want to do is click on this create button at the bottom right hand side to start my project. Now, again, you will, I'm sure you might have noticed that minimalistic look still continues. Not a lot of panels, a lot of tools to get scared of, as you will see in other video editing softwares, right? So you'll see very, very intelligently, it just places all those video sequences onto your timeline in the same order that you really asked it to do, right? So that's a really a good kickstart or start of the project. Now I'm going to show you a couple of other things. Maybe let's just have a look at the overview itself. Where would you find what? And then we'll go into the features and capabilities itself. Okay. So on the top left, you see this home button. It basically lets you go back to your home page where you started, and you can see that there are all the projects available for you to go back onto, or you can create a new project as well. I'm just going to click on the one that I just created, and the next option that I see is right now I'm in the edit panel or the edit workspace. So you can see that on the top left. And then there is a share workspace as well. So basically once you're the way this works is once you're done with editing, you move into the share workspace and then you get to choose where do you want to share your final output. Do you want to push it to like a local file on your hard drive, or YouTube, Facebook, Instagram? We're going to have a look at this towards the end. Okay. And then I can add more media. Maybe I missed on some of the media files. I can click on this blue button and I can get more media files if I want to. I want to see the existing project files. I can click on that and I can see these are the files which are already being used. That's all good. What else do I see here? So basically there are two different sections to the editing capability in Premiere Rush. The first section is on the bottom left, and these tools are more or less around editing the timeline, if you will. Okay, so these are the, if you want to call them, these are the timeline tools. So they basically help you customize and fix up your timeline. So that's what they are on the left hand side. And the other set of tools that you will notice are on the top right hand side here. And these are the creativity tools or the editing tools, if you will, right? So we're going to begin with these tools on the left hand side, which are the timeline tools. And then we'll move on to the editing tools on the right hand side. Okay. What else do we see on the screen? We also see the previous screen in the middle. I have the play slider to go back and forth. I can use the playhead on the timeline as well. I have the option to play, skip forward, go to the end. I can zoom into the full screen if I want to. If I want to play the entire thing in loop, maybe I'm looking for something specific and I want it to play over and over again, I can do that too. And the interesting part here is that even when you have decided, if you remember, if you go back maybe 5 minutes back, I told you that you get to decide what is going to be the aspect ratio of the final video, and then you decide whether it is for a desktop landscape view, or whether it's like a mobile view, portrait mode, or whether it's going to be a square. It doesn't mean that once you've selected that, you can't really change it later. You can change it later as well. So think about a situation like this. Maybe you created this video for desktop views or televisions or monitors, and now you need to repurpose the entire video for a mobile phone or for a social media post. Should you recreate everything from scratch? No, you don't have to do that. All you need to do is just click on this button on the right hand side, bottom right hand side to the preview monitor, and you get to change the aspect ratio here as well. And the good part here is that Premiere Rush tries to be as smart as it can to make sure that your most important part of the subject gets into the video. It doesn't get cropped, right? So basically that helps you to sort of resize your video aspect ratio from landscape to portrait or portrait to square for that matter. Okay, so that's there. What else? You also have the option to, so you see at the bottom there is a slider. So it works two ways. Either you can click and drag the slider to see the entire, to scroll horizontally on your timeline, or you can click on the edge of the scroller to basically squeeze in the timeline or expand it. So maybe you need to be really specific about something. So you can simply zoom in to your timeline and really see what exactly is happening. And then maybe you wanna be really precise in removing some part of the video and things like that. So you always have that control here. Okay. What else? Let's talk about the timeline tools on the left hand side to begin with. Okay. So the first one here is more or less about it's a very simple tool. It lets you clip or cut your clips into two halves. So maybe there's a situation, say this entire clip, this half of this clip needs to be in the beginning, and I want to end the same video. Sorry, I want to end this video with similar clip. Now, one option is that I simply use the duplicate option. You see, I can select any of the video clips here, and then I click on the duplicate option, and it just duplicates the video for me. And then I can simply drag and drop this video at the bottom or and the towards the end of the video timeline, so that the same video appears in the beginning and at the end of the video as well. Okay, so that's your duplicate button. But maybe there's it's a really lengthy video to be in the beginning. I want to just clip it in half, maybe, right? So I think I want to keep it from here till um, till 2.5 seconds, something like that. Now I want to clip it. I want to remove the second part of the video. So one way to do that is I click on this scissor, and this will split your video in two different halves, as simple as that, right? And I can simply hit the delete button, or I can hit the trash icon on the left hand side after selecting that video that I want to delete. So I will simply click on delete, and that part of the video will be gone. So that's one way of sort of removing a part of the video from the clip. The other method is you can also crop the video as well. So one way is splitting the video, and the other method is cropping the video, right? So maybe the last half is too big as well. And now what I want to do is I just want to keep the second half of the video here, right? So I can probably keep my playhead where I want to start. And then instead of using the scissor or the split tool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the crop mechanism. And how can I crop a video? I can simply take my mouse to the edge of any of these clips that I want to crop. And if you look closely, the mouse head or the pointer head changes from a normal arrow to like a different kind of arrow here. Okay, and when it changes, this is where you know that it is ready to crop your video. So now you can click and drag, and you will see the timing on the right hand side as well to show you how much you're clipping or how much you're cropping. And once you come close to the playhead, you will notice something here. There is a snapping behavior. There's some magnetic behavior going on here because it tries to help you be precise to exactly where you want to start the video, right? So because you have your playhead here, it's just thinking that maybe this is where you want to start your video. So when you use a crop, it quickly snaps to the playhead and helps you crop the video to the point. Okay. When you crop it or even you split it, it doesn't matter that video is gone forever. It's always there. Even if you want to bring it back, you can always do that, but it wouldn't be in the final output of the video, right? But yeah, just know that you always have the power to go back in your project and bring that information back again. It's just hidden. It's not gone. It's not deleted. Okay. All right. What's next? Let me show you this one first. So you have the option for control track. So basically you can view and you can make some changes to the control tracks. If I click on this, you will see a few things visible on the left-hand side. It wasn't there before. Oops. It wasn't there before. And now if I click on this control track, these options appear. But what are these options? These are the options for controlling your track. For example, maybe you have multiple video layers, right? So this is one layer of the video. Just know that you have other layers as well. You can put one video over other video as well. And then there are multiple layers of video content that you can create one over the other. Okay, I'm going to place it back here. Uh, so maybe you're done with that video layer and you don't want to make any changes to happen to that video layer by mistake. So you can just hit the lock button to disable the movement in that video layer. And now if I try to click and drag or delete, I won't be able to do anything because it's locked here. Or maybe I'm working on some other audio or video layer and I don't want to hear audio from a particular track. I can always hit the mute button so that I can concentrate on the audio of other layers. Maybe I don't want to hear them talking. I just want to see how the music sounds. Um, I'm just gonna, okay, 1 second. Just gonna make sure that I am. I'm back again. I hope you can still hear me. Uh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to start sharing my screen again in a way that you can hear the audio as well. Okay, I'm good. All right. So where was I? I was saying that maybe you don't want to hear the audio from the video clip and you just want to concentrate on the music and see how does that sound. Maybe you need some fixing, some audio correction there. So you can always hit the mute button on one of the tracks so that you can just concentrate on the other sound from the other tracks, right? On the other way around, you can mute the sound of the music and enable the sound of the video track.
Morning, Philippines. Guess what we're gonna go.
Right, because in this way the music wouldn't really interfere when you're editing the video or the audio of the video itself. Okay. So these are the tracks. And then you also have the option for voiceover as well. So maybe this is a presentation and things are going on the screen and you want to do some live recording over like a narration over that video. You can also do that using the microphone button. So as you can see, there are different tracks for audio as well. This is the audio track for the music, so I don't want to write it over. So what I can do probably is I can click on the let me disable the music here, and then I can click on this microphone button on the layer below the second layer of the audio. And this is how I can start recording myself and doing narration.
Oh God, I love the Philippines.
Right? So basically, there are multiple ways of how you can add audio over, and this is one of the ways of doing voiceover. I don't really need that, so I'm going to hit delete for now. Okay. What else? Let's enable the audio here. Now, you must have noticed that you can see the audio from the music, but you can't really see the audio from the video files. Maybe you need to do some audio correction in the video audio in the audio file of the video itself, right, where the people are talking. So how can you go about doing that? In order to view the audio of the video file, there's a dedicated button for you to expand the audio so that you can enlarge the audio track to be able to see them and fine tune them easily. So this is the button on the left hand side, bottom left hand side. And when you click on that, you will see that the audio expands. And now you can see different level of audios. And if you need to correct something, things will be much more easier to handle. Okay, so until now, we haven't really done any editing as such. We've just covered the stuff around the timeline controls, how you can add media, how you can clip, how you can split videos, how you can drag and drop and rearrange videos for yourself, and how you can duplicate them, how you can delete them, basically basic stuff around setting up your timeline. One issue that I can see already in the timeline is that my music file at the bottom is much larger than the overall video on the clip. So probably what I want to do here is maybe I'll just okay. I'll just put my playhead here, and you'll see the one way to snap the playhead to the edges or to the edits is that you press and hold the shift key, and when you bring it close to the edge, it will automatically snap so that you don't have to be precise manually. It's just going to do the precision for you. Okay, so press and hold the shift key and move the playhead, and it's just going to snap to the edits automatically. And now since it's snapped, I can simply go back and use my crop functionality of the clip. And as you will see, when I reach the playhead, it's just going to snap to that playhead automatically so that it's exactly the same length. Okay. And of course, like I said before, I can always expand or squeeze in the timeline view as well. Okay. All right. What else? Now let's move on to a bit more interesting part of this, which is the editing controls, which is the more of a creative stuff, which is situated on the which is situated on the top right hand side here. So let's begin with the first one, which is graphics. So in graphics, it includes quite a lot of things. You can, when I say graphics, you can have things like motion graphic templates, you can have normal text, you can have images or transitions and all different kind of graphics that you might want to add to your video. So for example, what I want to do here is I want to click on this add graphic button and see what are my options to begin with. Okay. So when I click on add graphic, the panel opens up on the left hand side, and then I can click on the browse all option on the top, and I can see different categories of the graphics that I can choose from. So I can have titles, I can have transitions, or I can have overlays as well, right? So these are my titles. And again, these are motion graphic templates. They basically have animation embedded into themselves so that you don't have to create that animation from scratch. Remember, Rush is all about helping you quickly create a video in the most professional way without you doing a lot of hard work, right? So there's a long list of titles and motion graphic templates that you get to choose from. And then you can add more as well. And then these are your transitions, okay? And I'm going to show you how do they work. And then these are your overlays. So maybe you want to put something on the top of the video itself. Okay. So maybe in the beginning of the video, what I want to do is I want to start this video with some title, so some context to the video so that my viewers would know what is it that I'm trying to present in the video. So I'll go back to titles. I look for there are some lower thirds, there are some stylish welcomes. I can also drag and drop them here to see how do they look, right? So maybe I want this modern title. So let me try and play this. I'm just going to disable the audio for now, okay, so that we can concentrate on the titles. So if I play this again, can you see what happens? It really animates itself and bring the title in. And sure enough, I can always double click. Sorry, I can always double click on the text and change the text to my needs. And I can say, this is um, beach day, okay, or maybe day on the beach, something like that, right? So the point here is that you don't really have to create all this from by yourself from scratch. You have things available as a preset, and you get to customize it to your needs. Maybe I want to customize it further. I need to make sure that I click on the title in the on the timeline itself, similar to how I can click on the video icons or the video clips. I can also click on the title or the graphic that I've added, and I can resize it if I want to. I can crop it. I can split it if I want to, similar to a normal video, or I can customize it further. How can I customize it further? If I click on this, on the right hand side under the graphic section, do you remember the first section that we spoke about, which is graphic? So if I click on that, and if I have that graphic selected on the timeline, it's just going to give me more options. It wouldn't be just browse anymore. It will give me more options to customize. And let's see what those options are. So I see there are two categories of customization. One is the text, which is what I wrote. And one is the text, which is what I wrote. And the second is the shape or the line. So I can customize that as well. So maybe if I go into text, the options that I have is I can change the font, I can change the font style, make it a bit more bold if I want to. I can change the size of the font, make it smaller or bigger. I can change the color of the font to my need. I can bring some outline if I want to, and I get to decide the size of the outline. Can you see how I'm making the changes? And the preview is also visible so that you can see things in real time of what you're doing and what are the changes that you're making, right? I can bring more text shadow. I can change the color of the shadow as well if I want to. And then maybe I can bring some more distance with the shadow if I want to, something like that. Right, so you basically get a lot of options here for you to choose from and customize your graphics or customize your title. Maybe the text characters are too squeezed in. I want to give some spacing to the characters, so I can stretch it using the character spacing option. Had there been multiple lines, I could use the line spacing from the second section. So maybe I put the word beach on the second line, and I'm just going to capitalize it, something like that. And now if I make the changes, I can get to decide the distance between the lines as well, right? So I can do that too. And then, of course, there's this baseline shift if I want to shift the entire stuff together. Okay, so that's your text being customized. And the second option was the shape to be customized. So you can change the outline. There's no fill color. So there's just outline. So maybe I don't really like this pink color. I want to match it to the red color that I brought in and just say okay. And that's my line color or the line size being changed. If I want to bring more colors, I can enable the shape color, or I can bring some shadow of the shape similar to how I did for the text. I could do that too. Maybe I can bring some shadow, and I can say this would be a black shadow as well. And then I get to choose the distance, how far it is and how close it is, and I can have some shadow there. And I can make it a bit more blur, or I can make it a bit more opaque. So the point here is that you have a lot of customization available. Even these presets are readily available for you to simply drag and drop on your timeline and use. You still get to have a lot of customization so that you can make your unique look of the video. Okay. Okay, so what else? I can go back here, and then you see there's this add button, and I can click on add, and I can add any of the existing titles if I want to. Okay, I'm just going to delete that. I don't need that. Okay, let's go. Okay, when I say browse all, I would be able to see the titles and the transition graphics and everything together, and then I can drill down, and then I can see what are the other options. So you saw titles, right? So titles, and you know the purpose of titles now. But what else do we have here? We also have the option for graphics that help you transition, that help you do the transition from one video to the other, right? Because right now, when you look at the transitions or the movement of the video from one video clip to the other, there's really a very unnatural transition there, right? It just abruptly moves from one video to the other. See this one, and then it just jumps to the second video, and then it jumps to the third video, and so on and so forth, right? So there's no really a smooth transition. It doesn't really look professional. It doesn't look appealing to the eyes as well. So how can I go about creating some transition between these videos? There are multiple ways of doing that. One of the ways is using the transition graphics. For example, I can scroll down. I can see there are quite a few to choose from. So what I'm going to do, maybe let's choose this one, and I'm going to drag and drop it above these two video clips. And did you notice something? I placed it right in the middle of where these videos are connecting together. I'm just going to hide this. So this is the hide unhide button. Okay, here. So I'm just going to hide this for now. Just going to hide that for now. Okay, and you see, where am I placing this? I'm placing it right exactly above the edit, where I have both of these video clips connecting together. Why? Because I want to have this transition over where the movement happening from one video clip to the other. So I'm gonna enable the eye option again so that I can see the graphic. And then similar to what we did with the title, I can always crop it in and make it look a bit more smaller, or stretch it and make it look a bit more wider. So depending on what I need, I can simply do that. That's not a problem. And now if you try to play the video, you will see that it doesn't look that unnatural. Right? Can you see what happened? So it basically had a sort of a overlay on top of that video to cover the transition, so that it looks more natural, more professional. Okay, so just know that these are some of the options to choose from, but they are not limited. You have plenty of other options, motion graphic templates to choose from, and I'll show you that in a moment or so. But yeah, to begin with, these are the options for you. Okay, and then of course you have overlays. Maybe you're creating this video for your social media, YouTube. You're a vlogger. You want to add some subscribe um, messages. So I can simply drag and drop this graphic here. I don't want it to be that big. I just want it to cover the end, maybe something like this. And now if I play the video, I have the subscribe button coming up in the end, right? And again, it's totally up to me of what the text would be, because like I said, it's totally customizable. If I click on that, and if I go into the graphic option, you have this word subscribe. You have two different shapes to customize. So if it shouldn't say subscribe, it should say something else. I can simply click up here and I can say maybe like and subscribe. Maybe that's what I want to say, right? So I can simply customize that, and I can customize the look and feel of the text by font, all that stuff that we discussed before, and the shape of the arrow and the shape of the text box as well, right? So we can do that too. All right, so that's there. I hope you already getting some sense of how you can utilize these features in your creative videos, right? So let's just close that. So that's the first part, which is the graphic that we discussed. The second part is all about creating effects. So I told you one way of creating transitions is is by using these motion graphic templates, which lets you transition, create this transition kind of effect that it basically overlaps the cut, overlaps the edit, and it really just create that smooth transition from one video to the other, right? Excuse me. So that's one way of doing it. If you don't want to do that, maybe you want to create some other kind of transitions. For example, you want to put some dissolve. Maybe you want one video to get dissolved into the other video. That's what you want to do. You can also do that by simply dragging and dropping it onto the edit, onto the where these two videos are joining together. You saw what I did? I simply dragged and dropped. And by the way, we are in the second option, which is the effect option. We're not in graphic anymore. We are,
Excuse me, Mr.
yeah,
Arvind. We have about 5 minutes to wrap up for this
sure, yeah,
session. All
yeah,
right.
definitely. Thank you. So yeah, in the effect option, you can see what I can do here is I can dissolve the video from one video clip to the other. So that's another interesting effect. Maybe that's what you want to do, or maybe in the beginning and end you want this video to go black, dissolve into black. So there's this black option as well. So I can simply drag and drop the black at the bottom or the end. And now if I play this, you see the video ends in black itself. And I can put the black onto the graphic as well, so that everything goes black, something like that, right? And I want to do, if I want to do that in the beginning, I can do that too. I can simply drag and drop that black transition in the beginning, and now everything will start from black, something like this. Okay. And then there are other transitions as well. You want to wipe it left, you want to slide, you want your videos to slide left, right, top, down. You want to push it from left. So you can try different transitions. And there's this transition duration as well. So you want the duration to be big or small. You can simply use a slider to make it big or to make it small. So that's a possibility. Okay, and the next option is really interesting. It's about fixing the colors. That's really cool as well. Maybe you want this video to go black and white, right? So you can simply select that video, choose the preset. So everything is created already for you. All you need to do is click and see which one suits the best, right? So think of them like Instagram filters. So maybe you want it to go black and white. You can do that. Maybe you want to have some washed out colors, some warm colors coming in. You can do that by simply clicking on the preset and see which one suits the best. If you want to go a bit more into the editing and you want to customize each and everything yourself, you always have the option for editing the colors right next to the preset. So you can click on edit, and then you can further customize the exposure. Maybe the light wasn't too good. You can increase the exposure. You can change the contrast. Maybe shadows are too dark. You can lighten the shadows, right? So maybe there's some blue tint in the video. Maybe that was a cloudy day and you want to make it look more sunny, you want to warm up the video, you can do that by using temperature. So basically, you got a lot of different options to choose from. You want to decrease the saturation and take away the colors, or you want to increase the saturation. So basically, a lot of different further controls for you to choose from in the edit option. Okay. So that's there. And you can also speed up and slow down your videos as well. So maybe for some reason you want to create that interesting slow motion effect and you didn't short the video in slow motion. You can just clip the video to the part you want. Maybe let's just do this one. And what I want to do here, I want to put a split. You see, I can click on the split icon, and I want to clip the video so that I can stretch this entire sub video from the bigger clip, and then I can change the speed. I can reduce the speed or I can slow down the speed. And the 26% basically says the speed is slowed down by 26%. Okay, so it totally depends on you how much you want to slow down or speed up. You can do that using the option here. This is interesting, the audio correction. So let's just quickly jump into the audio correction and see how you can fix the audio as well. So what I'm going to do here, I'll quickly hit the play button and I'll show you one issue in the video itself or the audio of the video. Okay. And then I'll show you how you can quickly fix that.
Oh God, I love the Philippines. Good morning, Philippines.
So one issue that you must have recognized already, that there's a lot of background noise, right? The audio isn't clear, and that is an issue most of the time. So how can you fix that? How can you do the audio correction using the audio tab? So there are a couple of things that you can do here. For example, one thing is that you can increase the audio of a particular video clip. So can you see the changes in the audio clip itself? I don't know if you can see it here, but if I increase the audio, can you see how the bars go up? And if I decrease the audio clip, how do they go down? So it totally depends on you how much. Maybe this particular video clip had little audio and you want to fix that. You can simply increase the audio clip volume for that particular clip itself. Maybe you want to mute it down, you can do that as well. But here's the most interesting and magical part. You can have in the advanced section. First of all, it will try to recognize what type of clip it is, whether it has voice, whether it has music, or it has something else. Because this is a dialogue, because these two people are talking, it's already recognizing this as a voice type of clip. And when it does that, it gives you a couple of options. And these options are based on Adobe's artificial intelligence, which is called as Adobe AI. Okay. So basically, you don't really have to do much. All you need to do is click on the reduce background noise and change the intensify slider to see what suits the best. And what it really does, it looks at your audio of the video clip and it tries to recognize what is the talking part and what is the background noise, and it tries to suppress that. You just need to be mindful of how much you're intensifying it so that it doesn't look unnatural. And now you'll see the difference. Yeah. Let me play it one more time.
Good morning, Philippines.
Guess what we're gonna go do again.
I'm sure you can hear it already. Let me turn that off and show you back again.
Good morning, Philippines.
Guess what we're gonna go do.
Right, so there was a lot of background noise which got suppressed using this option. In the similar fashion, if you have other issues like echo, you can reduce the echo as well. If you know that this is a man speaking or a woman speaking and you want to enhance their speech, you can enable enhanced speech and select lower pitch and higher pitch. You want to balance the sound. Balancing sound is basically maybe inside one single clip, the some of the voices are low and some of the voices are loud, and you want to balance them out together. You just enable that option, and it just tries to look at the overall clip and tries to balance out the audio for you, right? So yeah, these are really cool options for you to choose from. And let me show you another magical option here. So I'm gonna enable the audio of the music as well, because I'm gonna show you another issue, another challenge here, which is gonna be there for you as well. Okay, so let me play this again.
Oh God, I love the Philippines. Good morning, Philippines.
So I'm sure you must have guessed it already. The audio is being suppressed or being overtaken by the music file, or the music is too loud where the people are talking. So what you would want to do is basically you want to suppress the music wherever people are talking. So think about it like an interview or some trailer of the movie where when people are not talking, the music is little. Sorry, when people are not talking, the music is loud, and when people start talking, the music suppresses. And you don't want to do this manually. What you want to use is, again, Adobe's artificial intelligence. So now if I click on the music file, which is the Dreamland music file, now the audio panel recognizes that this is a music clip already. In case it doesn't recognize it, and you also have the option to change it manually yourself, right? But it does recognize it. Does recognize it very well. And the option that I want to show you here is auto ducking. And let me show you how it works. Can you see the waves right now? And the moment I click on auto ducking, you will see the change visually as well. Can you see what happened? There's this black suppressor going on. Basically, it's recognizing that this is the part of the video where people are talking, and these are the part of the video where there's no talking happening. So, and then you can reduce the auto ducking to the level you want. And now if I try to play it again.
Good morning, Philippines.
Guess where we're gonna go to again.
You see the music goes up automatically using the auto ducking. Okay. And in the end, just a quick part, you also have the option for cropping and rotating everything that you can imagine. It could be the graphic, it could be the videos, it could be anything that you click on. You will get option to crop and transform that thing using the crop and transform tool. For example, taking the example of this one, maybe I want to move the horizontal position. Maybe I want to move the vertical position. It should be on the top left, or it should be rotated a bit, right? Totally depends on me. Maybe it should be a bit more transparent. It shouldn't be 100% opaque. Or maybe the size is too big. I want to reduce the size as well, right? I also have the cropping options. I can crop the top, I can crop the bottom. Totally depends on me on how I want that, uh, how I want that graphic to be, right? So it totally depends on me. I can flip it vertically, I can flip it horizontally. So basically you can use these controls anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be just the graphic. You want to select the video, you can do that with the video as well. You can have, maybe you want to create a video and video effect, picture and picture in effect. You want to have 3 or 4 videos playing together. So you can do that. You minimize the video like this, and then you change the horizontal position, change the vertical position, and then you place another video on top of that. Maybe I'll place this one here. Oops. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to place it on top of this, like this. And okay. Can you see what I mean? Right. So I guess you can imagine already what I'm trying to do. So maybe you want to create a picture-in-picture effect or multiple videos going on together. So you can have one video over the other, and then you just use the control panel to resize them, reposition them, and all of them will play. All of them will play together. And once all of this is done, of course, what you want to do is you want to share your creativity with others. You want to show everyone what you've created, and then you go to the Share tab. You go to there are multiple options of where you want to push that content. You want to just save it locally. You choose the folder. You want to choose the folder where you want that content to go, maybe to the downloads. Um, in the advanced settings, you get to choose what is the quality. Do you want a full HD? Do you want a 4K video? What is the level of video quality you want? And it will also show you the size in megabytes of what you can estimate. So maybe the size is too much. Maybe you want to just go back a little bit on the resolution and then see which suits the best. And of course, you can change the file name. day on the beach. And then, yeah, either you can just stick to that, or what you can also do is you can go to the other options, like maybe you want to post this video on social media. I'm signed in already, but for you, it's going to ask you to sign in for the first time and connect your account to Premiere Rush. And then you get to choose where you want to post it. All of your playlist will be available here. Basically similar option that you see in the YouTube when you try to upload something on YouTube, whether it should be a public video, unlisted or private video, what are the tags. You can even schedule this to go live on some particular date. Maybe you don't want to do it right now, but you want to publish it on some X particular date in future. So you get to decide that as well. And then you hit publish or export, and it's just going to export and publish it automatically. In the similar fashion, you have Facebook. You get to sign into your Facebook account and publish your video online directly, and then Instagram and Behance. Okay. For Instagram, just know that when you go to Instagram, you'll see something like that. It doesn't mean that you have some less functionality. So you can't really sign in directly into Instagram using Rush. For this, what you do is you enable this option, and this is going to download it in the Instagram version, which you can upload later. You can't really push it directly to Instagram using this. Okay. So yeah, once all of this is done, of course, what you do is you hit export, and your video will automatically go to the selected options that you have selected here. It will render itself, and it's going to not only give you the local file, but it's also going to give you the published version, the YouTube version as well. Okay. Before I end the session, I'm going to show you one quick stuff here. Let me cancel this out so that it doesn't take my CPU usage. And I'm going to go back to my phone screen. Okay, this is my phone. And I want to show you that the same software is available on your mobile devices with all the same functionality that I showed you. Simply go to App Store or Play Store, search for Rush, install Premiere Rush. Is free on phone for you to install. And then sign in with your school account so that you get full functionality. And you see all the projects that we created on the desktop, they are syncing automatically on my phone. I can create a new project if I want to, or I can start editing the existing one as well. So I can click on them. I can see the same stuff what I saw on the computer. Okay. I don't know if you can see it now. Yeah. Maybe it's too zoomed in. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so yeah, everything is available here on your phone. You see on the bottom, you see all the graphics, effects, color, speed, audio transform, everything that we discussed on the bottom. And then you have your timeline on the top here. You can zoom into your timeline if you want to, something like this. Okay. And then you can crop down if you want to something, if you want to crop or expand. You have option to add media, audio, graphics, basically all those options that we discussed on the desktop. You also have those options available on your phone, iPad, and tablet. All right, so that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Back to our host of the session again.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Amandeep Singh. All right. That whole session was indeed informative for a very short 1 hour session. So quickly, we're just going to go through a Q&A session. So we will be taking questions which the participants have posted on Slido. If you have not input your questions, you may do so. The link is in the chat. You may go. So the first question for Mr. Amindeed would be, what are the advantages of Pro compared to Rush, and which do you prefer to use?
That's a very good question, and I'm sorry I haven't included that part here. Yeah. So I would say Pro and Rush sort of complement each other as well. So one let's take about the let's talk about the audience who's going to use it, the user. So let's say if you are a user who's starting up video editing fresh, so and you don't want to basically go into a lot of um, detailed and complex video editing, you start with Premiere Rush. That's point number one. Point number two is even if you're an advanced user, as you can see that Premiere Rush allows you to get things done very quickly. And the fact is that once you have done that, once you have created everything on Premiere Rush, you can easily move everything from Premiere Rush to Premiere Pro with a single click. So what happens is if you enable that syncing option, and if you have your project synced to the cloud, maybe let's say you are this advanced user and you have created a few things in Premiere Rush, and now you feel that you need some more control, you need some more advanced capabilities, and you want to take this project to Premiere Pro, you can always do that, because when you open Premiere Pro, always remember that there's this button which says Open Premiere Rush Projects in Premiere Pro itself. And when you click on that button, it will open all the sync projects on the Creative Cloud, and it will let you transfer all the timeline from Premiere Rush to Premiere Pro. So the short answer is you want to rush things, you want to create things quickly, and you don't really want to get into the really complex panels and stuff. Go with Premiere Rush. Even if you're an advanced user, you can start with Premiere Rush and then move over to Premiere Pro with that project later.
I see. All right. That's honestly quite good. So the next question would be, are there any other websites where we can download templates for like the titles, overlays, basically the graphics, or the ones that are on Rush are the only option other than you said in the beginning, just doing it from scratch?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So there's this website called as Adobe Stock, and the URL is stock.adobe.com. It is an online service provided by Adobe, which lets you download some free templates or some free motion graphic templates from there as well. So all you need to do is just go to stock.adobe.com and search for the titles or the motion graphic templates. It's similar to Google search. You just go there and search for it and put filters. And when you will see some of them are paid, some of them might be free, and then you just choose the one that you need, depending on whether you want to purchase it or you want to use a free one. But yeah, stock.adobe.com is the answer to that.
Okay, good to know. Next question. Is there a limit to video size? Is it capable to like exporting the video in 4K for Rush?
Yes, yes, definitely. I showed you the option for the
Hmm.
limit that it has. So when you go into the share mode, let me share my screen one more time. And when you go into the share mode, the limit it has is this. So you have three options: 720, 1080, and then 2160 4K ultra video. So these are the options that you have. Okay.
Okay, good to know. We probably just kind of missed that one. Screen's a
No,
bit
that's all
small.
right.
So another like for social media apps, right? Nowadays, other than like YouTube, Instagram, is there possible for TikTok to export the videos in here for TikTok per se?
Yeah, that's a good question. You can, but for that, what you would need to do is just save the file locally and then upload it directly to TikTok. There's no integration right from Premiere Rush to TikTok directly.
Good to know. So future TikTok creators are good for this. Lastly, someone asked, is there like what's the recommended computer spec for this application?
So for that, you can simply go to Google. Actually, for any Adobe software, you can simply type in the name of the software and say minimum requirements. So I'm doing that for Premiere Rush. And then you open up the first link, and it tells you what exactly do you need on your computer. So for example, it says for Windows, You need to have a 64-bit computer with i5 or i7 recommended, a Windows 10, at least 8 GB of RAM. So basically it tells you everything that you need. And same is the case for any software. So you want to know for Photoshop or Premiere Pro, simply Google the name of the product and say minimum system requirements.
Okay, great. I have taken note. I hope everyone here has taken their notes on this. All right. Many thanks again to Ms. Amindings for being our speaker for today. Thank you everyone for your questions. Unfortunately, we are on a time limit and we have exceeded that. So that's all the questions that we have that we can take for this workshop. All of you have simply made this workshop amazing and possible, and we are so grateful for your participation. On a final note, to those who have not registered for the other events, please do so. We'll put the link in the chat, so please don't go away just yet. And we hope to see you there very soon. That's all for this workshop today. Bye everyone. Take care and stay safe wherever you are.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.